When electric cars first started to come onto the market, they were significantly more expensive than their internal combustion engine counterparts due to the costs associated with their battery pack, their limited production volume, and the need for automakers to recoup some of their investment in a new vehicle technology. To help offset that higher sticker price and to get consumers choosing electric vehicles over other fuel types, governments around the world started to offer plug-in vehicle incentives in the form of purchase rebates, tax credits, and other purchase perks. Some of those programs were generous, offering huge discounts off sticker price. Some were less large. But either way, as Norway's success with electric vehicles has shown, incentives really do help people get into electric cars. These days, with more electric cars on the road, some national and local governments are changing their electric car incentive programs to restrict who can apply for them, arguing that those who buy super expensive electric vehicles like the Tesla Model S and Tesla Model X really don't need the incentives anyway. Other places and other incentives, like the US federal tax credit for electric cars, have a baked-in expiration date that will slowly ramp down the amount of incentives available when an automaker has produced and sold a certain number of plug-in cars. Yet the one thing most incentive programs don't guard against is the practice of car flipping. No, I'm not talking about tipping a smart car like a cow. I'm talking about buying a brand new car, specifically one that's limited in supply, then claiming the relevant incentives and then selling the car on for a profit. Of course, car flipping isn't completely restricted to electric vehicles. In fact, whenever there's a new car coming to market that's going to be limited in supply, be it a mainstream car with a low volume rollout or a high-powered six-figure sports car, there's always going to be someone ready to take advantage of their own personal situation by placing an order for a car they don't want, buying it outright, and then selling it on for a massive profit. Some automakers have gotten wise to the idea and actively threaten dealerships with the automotive equivalent of excommunication if they knowingly sell a car to someone who's going to turn around and flip it for a profit. And the same goes for anyone who places multiple deposits down at different dealerships. But the issue with electric cars is that it's compounded by the whole incentive thing. You see, there are very few restrictions on incentives, meaning it's okay, at least theoretically, to buy a new electric car, claim the incentive, either at the end of the year or at the time of purchase, depending on where you live, and then selling the car on. It's something we're seeing a lot of right now with the Tesla Model 3, a car that's still limited enough in its supply for sites like eBay to get flooded with nearly new Model 3s being sold for massive markups. In the US at least, the only requirement for the tax credit is that you must have titled the vehicle in your name for at least a short while in the tax year that you're claiming that tax rebate in. And because the title usually takes a few weeks to arrive, we're seeing plenty of nearly new, low-mileage cars being sold on in this way. Is it legal? Yes. Is it moral? Ugh, I guess if you can sleep at night, meh. Some would argue that there's nothing wrong with people gaming the system in order to earn some extra money on top of what is already overinflated pricing. After all, it's a well-known fact that if you're a wealthy business person, it's easier to pay less taxes than if you're a regular Joe, because you can afford that top accountant who can bend the accounting rulebook to ensure that you pay as little tax as possible. But EV incentives aren't meant to help you make money. Instead, they're intended to help people jump behind the wheel of an EV for the first time. And for every Tesla flipper, or any other EV flipper out there, there's someone who doesn't get to make use of that incentive. The solution? Put a rider on every EV incentive that states, barring a major accident or some other event that results in the destruction of the vehicle, those who claim the incentive must keep their car for a minimum of 12 months, or maybe even 2 years, after purchase, or pay back that incentive in full. This would allow people to continue to make use of the incentives to buy an actual car and get a substantial discount off their new car, while simultaneously discouraging car flippers from engaging in the same practice. Of course, there will always be a few people who buy a car to only sell it on after genuinely realizing that it doesn't suit their needs as they thought. However, in that case, it's usually after several months of ownership, not just a few weeks, and in that case, I still believe those tax incentives should be paid back, or at least, for a car that's a few months old, passed on to the new owner. Do you agree? Do electric car incentives encourage car flipping? Is car flipping moral, or would you prefer to see a change in policy to prevent it? Leave me your thoughts in the comments below. That's it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, hit the notification bell to hear the moment a new show is uploaded, and click the Patreon link at the end of this video or in the description below if you want to help me make more of these videos. Until next time, keep evolving!